I've kind of made a video on like certain motifs and things that Bonham did. But what we're going to do, I've had a lot of people lately, well, a fair amount, say, well, how'd you do this? And I'll say, well, watch that video. And they're like, where is it in that video? So what we're going to do here is I'm going to try and put a condensed version of like cool stuff, just trademark Bonham stuff did to try to get right to a specific lesson just to practice, okay? Bear in mind the terminology I use is my own made up stuff, like when I say the sweep or the turnaround. It's just what I call it for ease of explanation, okay? The sweep, okay? Folks asked about this. Classic Bonham thing. That's it. Because when it's faster, it goes. That's what, so when you see Bonham doing that cool stuff, it's the cornerstone of that is this. There it is. Practice it slow. You got to practice this stuff slow because then you can go faster. When you practice it slow, you're burning it into your brain to remember it and then ultimately to be able to do it by itself without thinking about it later. That's why we practice stuff slow. It's not, we do it at first slow because we want to make sure what it is, right? You start right off the bat doing it too fast, you're not going to be doing it right because you're not paying attention. But even after you figure out and you're pretty good at, okay, this is it, continue to do it slow. Because when you continue to do it slow, you're essentially making your body and brain unconsciously memorize what the hell you're doing without having to think about it. You know, when you're playing shows and stuff, you might be thinking about, you're so tired you're going to go home and your girlfriend's in the audience and you can't wait to, you know. But the process of getting there, that's why we do stuff slow. Tortoise and the hare. Okay, remember that. Okay, the sweep. That's it. Okay, the sweep. As it plays in, what I did before. What you do. Okay? It'll sound like a quad, like one and a two, but it's really like a triplet. 1 and a 2. 1, 1 and a 2. Think of it this way. It helps if you sing it sometimes. 1, 1 and a 2. 1, 1 and a 2. 1, 1, 1 and a 2. 1, 1 and a 2. 1. So you can do it with the right hand on both hits on the snare. But then you can also go. Well, maybe start with the right. Or start, with the left. Okay, so left, right. See that? Instead of going. Or. Okay? But there's a note on the snare before the sweep. Whether your right hand does both of the snare notes or your left hand does the first one. Okay? Okay, now remember, the cool thing about YouTube is just rewind what I'm saying. Because oftentimes I keep talking about it and I waste a lot of time. Just rewind that, okay? Alright, that's the sweep. Okay? Here's another couple things too. Remember, the Bonham triplet, people have been doing this stuff before Bonham ever came along. He just made it popular, right? People have been making cupcakes since the dawn of time. Just that the cupcake craze has just faded. They got popular again. You know what I'm saying? All right. So the regular triplet, remember, go and see my triplet videos. But essentially you have the... I have 3 different triplet videos. The one that you see on my page, the one that has the writing, the Bonham triplet, I think is the most helpful. I talk about isolating the corners, because remember, triplet's made up of 3 triplets. Any one of those 2 notes you can swing. Da-da, 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 da-da. So just go look at those for the triplet. Okay. But here are a couple interesting things, again, specific fill things that Bonham did with those triplets. Here's one. As you speed it up, doesn't that sound familiar? That's very much a Bonham thing. Okay, people will say that's possibly what he's playing at the end of Rock and Roll Live. When he's like, he goes back into it. I mean, I don't do it that smooth. Hang on, what would it be? It would be. See, I can't even really do the transition, but anyway. You know, there's another guy that does it. The Doors guy. He really does great videos. He plays the Zeppelin stuff really good. You gotta check out his channel. Mr. Mojo Rising 67. Okay, he does it like this. So it'll be like. Let me see. And then back into the. You know, it takes a while to practice and get that up because I also kind of do it a different way. But anyway, so that's one. Okay, watch. But then, whoop, just move that to the tom. Back to the snare. Okay, there's another couple different ones too. So you can also do this. Which is, I don't know if Bonham really ever did that. He probably did, but it's a cool riff nonetheless, whether it's Bonham or not. You're just adding another bass drum note. Okay, so instead of... use another note on the bass drum to carry it along a little. Okay? That second note. Could be doing that at the end of that live rock and roll too. Possible. I don't know. I wasn't sitting next to him when he did it, okay? But there's also a third alternative for that. So instead of, or what I did first, there's also this. Okay? It's kind of a gospel thing. I remember you see certain gospel drummers be like they do like little like things where they work doubles into the bass drum. Little flourishes, okay? I have this on the bass drum because I'm selling this drum set. And the head's on here. There's no muffling at all. It's just a head, no hole in the front, just head. You know, when you put a felt strip in there, deaden one or both heads slightly, you get more of that Bonham wallop, okay? I'm doing it here for that, but also, too, I don't have all... it's harder to control the bass drum when both sides have no muffling at all. It's really boingy. I have a Camco pedal on here. This isn't the one I normally use, though. But I don't know where my other one is. I normally don't like these DW batters. Anyhow, so, watch this. Okay, just like before. Except what we're going to do... after that, we're going to go, okay? See that? Da 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 ba 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 ba. You want to sing the stuff sometimes. Try to make stuff melodic. Because when you play music on the drums, you're not playing in isolation. You're playing melodic accents and you're playing melodically. It's the whole point, okay? Da 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 da. You're not... Don't think of it as like a quad or something mathematical, like 1, 2, 3, like, you know what I mean? It's very helpful. So, now watch. So what happens with your hands? Now let's say I do that same thing, except I'm going to take the double out now. Okay? That too, okay? So that the double, but then you get it going. I'll go real slow, starting at the top. Remember, at the top, we're adding an extra note. Right there, that first one. After that, it's real slow. That's what happens after that, with the double in this format. Okay? I'm sorry, once you get it going. Okay, that's important. Bonham could be doing that at the end of Rock and Roll Live too, okay? I don't know. Okay, but also, that exact same thing, and I should point out, because I did the alternating triplet video, look up my video, John Bonham alternating triplet. What that means is you're actually, instead of going, normally people are wired to kind of comfortably do that triplet one way, left into right into bass drum, or I should say bass drum into left, whatever. Whatever you want to start the pattern on. 1 and a 2 and a 3, or 1 and a 2 and a. The order of what you're doing is the same, no matter where you start the bass drum, okay? But watch, so left to right, and then right to left. And again, you can take one of those bass drum notes out. Remember, that's the one bass drum note. Not. See that extra note? Cut that one out on the alternating. Cut that note out. Okay. There's just one note in there. You don't put one after that. Stay on the left. Da da boom ba ba, da da boom boom ba 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 boom boom ba. Okay. Watch. Your hand's kind of going. That's what your left hand's doing. Oh, sorry. Or the double note. Now there's a different spin too. Before, I remember on the backward, on the right to left, I'm sorry, left to right and right to left, you can also put a bass drum note after that. Okay, instead of just one bass drum note, after the left to right, and leaving the bass, like I did before, I went like this before. See, I'm only doing one bass drum note, no bass drum note, see that? But now I'm going to add a bass drum note there. Doing that at the end of Rock and Roll 2 Live. They all kind of sound the same, but they're cool little riffs to learn, okay? So if you have any questions, just I've said enough about each one, just rewind at the various points. But the one I just did, that might be be the most challenging for most people, because you're doing, most people naturally do. Look at I have 3 different triplet videos. Go into look what I saw. Just type in Bonzolium triplet and you'll see all kinds. I talk about isolating the corners. Obviously in a triplet there's not corners, but I think of it like a triangle, right? So isolating the relationship between this one and this one, then isolate the relationship between this one. Just watch my video. But what we do here, we're not just going one way. We're going. So instead of or this, I'm sorry with the beat. Like a right-handed lead, which, but incidentally, I think most right-handed drummers, I'm right-handed, but they do that triplet. They naturally lead it with the right hand. I find that harder to do, and I practice it. I still practice it. It's easier mentally if I make it descend, because I'm so used to hearing it descend. Stop it, man. Okay, but what you're doing is you're switching back and forth between a left-handed, but now you're going to go right-handed to left into the bass drum. And that's hard. For me, you have to practice rotating from a right-handed to a left-handed lead to a right-handed. Okay, but you're going to put it in a row. Remember in Clerks? She bloop, 38 bloop, in a row. Woo, that's one of the priceless lines of time. But watch. Okay, all I'm doing is this, fast. I'm doing this. Slower. Okay? Not only that, the extra thing is you can also, I think, add in 2 notes there. Okay. That takes a lot more practice. That's certainly what Bonham is not doing in rock and roll, but you could do that too. I guess I don't think he's doing, but anyway, you could do that faster. Think of it more like this. Okay, so maybe he's doing that in Moby Dick too. Rock and roll, okay? Go back and look at those 6 things. They're really cool and very helpful. Okay, we're going to move on to the triplet feel on the bass drum. Look at my videos on the triplet, that one where I have the boot. Okay, and I actually might need a shoe, because it actually is easier for me to play that with a shoe sometimes. I just have my socks on. I kind of have I don't have the pedal I normally like, but fuck it. Anyway, and I did, like I said, I can't remember if I mentioned this. I made this video once before, but something happened. I had to stop. I have this on here to mimic kind of having a little bit of felt on there. Not so much for, oh man, it's the Bonham sound, but really for control of the pedal too. But they did that too. You control the pedal better when it's not quite so open. Okay, so quick thing to practice, and I have this in my triplet, foot and triplet video and good times, bad times video, is 1 and a 2 and a 3 and a 4 and a... Do that for a long time. Remember, you have to do it for a long time to get your brain and everything locked into it to where then you can go faster. Like I said, tortoise in the hare. And 2 and 3 and 4 and eventually your foot will get into a pattern, okay? Remember, speed will come. Just get it to a speed where it sounds good. Okay? And And then what will happen is eventually you might run out of steam with your foot. Eventually your foot's going to get tired or whatever. At faster tempos. But remember, in good times, bad times, those triplets, he barely, it's just, he doesn't really do them at great lengths. There's one point in there during the solo and on the outro where he does do a lot of, for a long time. You got to remember, though, the guy was fucking 19 or 20, well, 20 or 21 when he recorded that, okay? That makes a difference. I'm 45, okay? Your physical body makes a difference, okay? But anyway, so practice that. Okay, and you can turn that into beats, which is helpful. Remember, make it melodic. Boom, boom, ba, boom, 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 ba, boom, 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 ba. Oh wait, one. Oh well, fuck it. I'll go back to that later. Boom, boom, ba, boom. Okay, watch. Okay. That's a great way to practice. Get in a zone and just do that for 20 minutes. It might tire you out or become boring, but do it. It's the only way you'll get better at doing it. That's we human beings forget that. I suck. Or, you know what? Practice it. These great drummers, they practiced it. Do you know what I mean? They just didn't take, like my Phil Stanger, my old drum teacher, had a big Tylenol pill that was like this big. Like, swallow this to be a good drummer. You know what I'm saying? You got to practice it, okay? Here's that thing again. And you can also, here's another patented Bonham thing too. I'm going to turn this a little. Here's another patented Bonham thing too. Is do it instead of a triplet, 1 and a 2 and a 3 and a 4. Think of it as a 1E and a 2E and a 3E and a 4. Now watch this. That should sound familiar. Bonham does that in certain stuff. He does it in da na na da na ba da na na na. Okay, da na 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 ba da. He also does it in live no quarter. Bum ba da da ba 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 da da da. Does it there, but that's a good thing too, not just to practice for Bonham's sake, but just to, okay, watch. 1E and a 2E and a 3E and a 4, that's it. 1E and a 2E and a right, left. You just speed it up. But then you can also, instead of just playing that one note with your right hand, play time. Same thing, but instead of going, which is this. You're just hitting the hi-hat again on that first bass drum note. Okay, right, left, right foot, right hand, same time. Okay. Okay. Over and over and over again and over again. It gets fun. It's like meditative.